If you're feeling lonely, if you're struggling with getting a girlfriend or just attracting women in general, I just want you to know that this is something that you can improve. Today is Valentine's Day, and luckily I'm quite blessed to have a girlfriend, someone that I can share it with. But I remember back in like high school and some years in college when I wasn't in a relationship, and it was honestly quite a sad day. You'd see everyone posting their partner, them doing stuff, and I think social media only makes this so much worse. But the reason I'm making this video is because I just want you to know that even if you're feeling lonely, if you focus on bettering yourself, on improving yourself, on becoming your best self, you can attract a woman, you can get a girlfriend, but you have to have the right mindset. Now, the first thing you have to do is you have to set high standards. You must realize that being alone is better than being with the wrong person. Picture this, a girl finally started showing you some interest, she started texting you first, blowing up your phone, you guys go out on some dates, and everything is going very well. And then all of a sudden you start to notice some red flags. What would you do in this situation? Well, a lot of guys, they'll be going out with a girl and they see some red flags and they overlook them. Why? Because they're desperate. Because, maybe it's the first girl that's ever shown them some attention in a while. Then they end up getting in a relationship with this girl. Things end up going south and the whole relationship just blows up in their face. But this whole situation just could have been fixed if they would have not settled for the wrong girl. So that's why sometimes I just want you to know that being alone is not the worst thing. It's much better to be alone and be waiting for the right girl, waiting for her to come around, than to settle for someone who's not really up to your standards. Because you shouldn't be dating someone unless you see them as a high quality girlfriend material person. Like, if you couldn't introduce someone to your mom, they're probably not the right person for you. So what you must do is you must set high standards. When you're going on dates, have the mindset that I'm not going to settle for someone who isn't up to the standards of what I'm looking for. And if I come across someone who's, they're a great person, there are some red flags that I just can't overlook, be okay with letting them go. Be okay with saying no. Be okay with being a guy who sets high standards. But you can't just focus on what you want without improving yourself. Which brings me to step number 2. You must focus on becoming the best version of yourself. Because something that I eventually came to the realization is that there's a lot of things in life that you can't control, right? You can't control if you're going to have a girlfriend or not. Of course, you can work on yourself. You can, improve your odds, but you can't control if that girl is going to like you back. You can't control if that girl you go up and talk to is going to give you her number. You can't always control the outcome of everything, but what you can control is you can control your attitude. You can control, do you have a nihilistic, negative attitude, or do you have a positive attitude? Like, really ask yourself, when you get rejected, what are the stories that you're telling yourself? Are you telling yourself like, hey, this one didn't work out, but I'm still proud of myself for putting myself out there? Or are you telling yourself like, oh, like I just always get rejected and I'll never get a girlfriend? Because the way that you view rejection will determine so many things. Because the guy who has a positive mindset, he's able to overcome the rejections. He's able to get past it and eventually actually find the right girl. But the guy who has a negative mindset, who always beats himself up, who always gets down on himself, he never moves past this because he's always so stuck in a negative feedback loop. But having negative, self-limiting mindsets never helps you in any way whatsoever. And when it comes to attracting that high-quality girl, well, the main thing you have to focus on is just becoming a high-quality man, becoming the best version of yourself. Because don't you think it would help your chances of finding a girlfriend if you started going to the gym, if you built an aesthetic body, if you became more confident, if you became more sure of yourself, if you improved your mental health? So instead of making chasing women the focus of your life, instead of focusing on, all these other random things that don't mean anything, be the man who is purpose-driven. Be the man who is focused on becoming his best self. Picture yourself with the 10 out of 10 physique. Picture yourself with everything you want to achieve, and then every day, simply take steps to get closer to that best version of yourself. Because something you must realize is that 99% of your dating problems will be fixed by becoming the best version of yourself. And every day, just take action to get better. But the reality is, in life, there are 2 different types of men. There are action takers and there are action fakers. Action takers, they hear things like improve yourself, go to the gym. And what do? They take action. They go get a workout in. They actually critically think, how can I get better? How can I improve myself? Whereas action fakers, they watch videos like these and they don't do anything. They keep watching the same self-improvement videos, doing the same exact things, but they never actually make a change. They never actually do anything to better themselves. So what type of person are you going to be? Are you going to be an action taker or are you going to be an action faker? The choice is yours.